So right now I'm joined by my speaking skills coaching client, Brian Ung, who I've been working together now for probably, I don't know, it was about 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, I think it's about 2.5 months, 2 to 2.5 months. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's slightly strange how it came to being a client. It wasn't like a typical sales call process. I thought based upon what I did and what Brian did, there might be some synergy there, some referral partnerships. So we just got on a call. We hadn't caught up in a long time, right? And somehow we ended up talking about your desire to improve your speaking skills. And now here we are. So just talk me through what was the main catalyst that kind of made you invest in the kind of speaking skills coaching with me? Was it a positive thing? Was there a bit of struggle going on? Like, what was that?
Yeah, it wasn't anything too major at the time. But what I realized that when I was making my videos, a lot of the comments on my YouTube channel would be, oh, thank God there's a 0.5x speed so I can watch this video properly. And like everybody was saying, hey, Brian, you speak way too fast. And I was like, really? Do I speak too fast? That comment was consistent across pretty much every single video. I think by then I posted 12 videos, and every single video there'd be a comment of Brian speaks too fast.
Yeah.
So I really wanted to fix that because I know that if I'm able to, speak more articulately, if I'm able to speak slower, if I'm more conscious about these things, that's something that if I fix right now, who knows, my videos might get an extra 1,000 views, 2,000 views, maybe 10,000 views. Maybe I'm losing 100,000 views by not getting really good on camera and really understanding all of these things. So I was like, hey, might as well learn it right now. There's no better time than now. Just do it.
Yeah, I love that. And I love the fact that you've really dived into the process and you're open to learning all types of different things. So based upon what we've gone over so far, what would you say has been the most impactful for you? I know we've talked about like slowing down, the emotional connection, the visual impact and other stuff. So what would you say is the most impactful?
Yeah, I would say the biggest takeaway is understanding how to honor the words. So I thought that I was putting a lot of emphasis on the words already, especially in the hook, right? And really I wasn't when I was watching over my own videos. And, we hopped on a call and you played my video on the screen and you played a video, you see the way that I said it and you'd be like, hey, I would say it like this. And I was like, oh, that actually makes a pretty big difference. Mm-hmm. So like really understanding the emotion behind each word. So stuff like happiness, right? And you can like light up and then you have a smile, or like struggling is like, oh, like there's a lot of weight on me. So like the body language, understanding the emotion behind the words and really putting emphasis on that and really bringing yourself to the present when you're recording a video so that all of your being and all of your attention is towards the camera, is given to the viewer. I think that was the biggest takeaway for me.
Yeah, I love that, man. And that's always going to be the most important and most powerful tool that I'm ever going to share with you, mate. I mean, it really is. And so what's interesting, you spend so much time on your script and then there was a complete mismatch between the words that were there and how you were delivering it right. So now you are really starting to bring all of that to life and not just honor the words as you deliver, but really honor the script and the amount of time. So you've got this marriage now with the right energy with the script and then the right energy with how you're coming across as well. So how have you seen that ability and your improvement in your spirit? How's that impacted you as a person day to day? How has that impacted your business? Like, give me some examples.
Yeah, that's a great question. I remember after our first session, I think on the first session, what we did was review my sales calls because we were like, hey, I think that I can be better on sales calls. So we didn't even talk about the YouTube stuff and the recording stuff. We talked about sales calls. It was on the very first call, which I was like, okay, kind of odd, but whatever, let's do it. And then 15 minutes after our first call, I had 2 sales calls back to back. And just by reviewing the sales calls, looking at the energy, how I was coming across, kind of like my eye level with the camera, and all of those micro optimizations, and going over like the sales process once again. Instantly, 15 minutes later, like $4K a month cash collected, which I still have the client right now. So it was totally mind blowing to me. It's like I think like the fastest consulting call to results I've ever had. So like huge ROI on that. So like number one, in terms of business, I think ever since starting to work with you, I had record sales month after record sales month. I think, like last month was like a record month, and all of it's, at least part of it will be attributed to speaking skills and understanding sales and getting good on camera. So I think business, it's improved. Like communication day to day, I think I'm much more conscious of the storytelling that I'm doing when I'm hanging out with friends, right? Or when I'm hanging out with just randos or strangers. How can I put emotion into the storytelling? How can I make it more visually interesting? I
Hmm.
think, like in terms of like social interactions, that's something I can still get better at, but has definitely improved. And I think just overall being conscious of the way that I'm coming across in my voice, right? In terms of the body language and and everything put together is just really thinking about it and slowly improving it every single time. Because right now I'm just more aware when I'm putting more emphasis on certain words, when I'm using certain hand gestures in front of the camera. Just thinking about that has been super useful. Just bringing that to my attention.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And it is, I find it fascinating. I've been doing this for nearly 2 decades, mate. That
Yeah.
how most people have a complete lack of awareness about this stuff. It's unreal, but it's not their fault because you look at society and at school, we're not taught this stuff at school. And for me, it's probably one of the most important things, communication and speaking skills, that when people get into the big wide world after they leave school, whatever, they're communicating all the time. And most people have what I call vomiticus contentinatum, or just puking content. You know what I mean? Most people do puke
Yeah.
content. And the thing is, now you're going through this process, you then become hyper aware of other people and how they come across, right?
Yeah, absolutely. When I see a speaker on stage and it's flat, I'm like, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? So like literally just every single day, every single waking second that, I'm watching a YouTube video when seeing a speaker on stage, I'm just thinking about the stuff, which I think has been super helpful in just bringing that to my attention and, hopefully implementing that in my day to day into my videos.
Yeah, nice. I might just to wrap this up, where
Yeah.
do you see these speaking skills that, we've learned so far and we continue learning, where do you see that impacting you moving forward?
And in like everything, I think more specifically on the business end, it would be the YouTube videos because, for some context, I run YouTube script writing agency and I have my own YouTube channel, and literally the YouTube channel is what brings in all of the new business. It's what brings in eyeballs, into my business. So really just perfecting the craft of speaking on camera in coming across in like enthusiastic, and, really coming across as, emotion and like coming across as a human, coming across as authentic. I think understanding all of that and really being able to put that into action will be the biggest lever that I can possibly pull.
Love that. And for the business owner or senior leader who is watching this right now and they're and ahhing if they should invest in their own development, what would you say to them?
I think it's worth it. I think it's like kind of a bold statement. I invested a lot of courses, a lot of programs. I think this has been the most enjoyable, and I think, will yield the biggest ROI in like a long period of time. Because really, investing in your speaking skills, in, getting good at speaking on stage, getting good at speaking on podcasts, getting good at speaking on camera, that will stay with you for the rest of your life. And if you're gonna live till 80, 90, 100,
Hmm.
ideally, why not get good at it? I think.
Absolutely, man. And I love what you said there about this. You've had a lot of fun as well, and that's so important for me because
Yeah.
the best way we learn is when we're laughing and enjoying ourselves. And I know times it's been fucking awkward when I've been putting you through your paces as well, right? I know it's been very uncomfortable at times, but
Yeah.
you know what it's like. You've got to go through that uncomfortable stage to push through to get the breakthrough as well. So the props to you, mate, for diving in and continue to dive in. And I really appreciate you sharing your experience.
Yeah, man, and thank you for your help so far. It's been really fun. It's been really great.
My pleasure, mate, and I'll keep pushing and pushing you because you keep expanding as well. So yeah, plenty more to come.
100%.